We are gentle and blissful, gifted and beautiful, generous and benevolent, and most appreciatively grateful and blessed. We are GAB Sports, guidelines to achieve and build. And because we had a pretty decent week last week, it was going very, very well for a long time, up until about late third quarter, early fourth quarter of those late game windows. And that's when the chalk just came up from behind and just dragged our teams down from toward the top, in the top 3-4 spots and plenty of contests, right? Standing to gain a huge windfall. And once that chalk hit, which I was a steadfast critic of last week, I said, I'm not going to play the chalk. And I stuck to that for the most part. I was very low on all the chalk, and it came back to bite me in the end because those Arizona stacks, which everybody had because it was just so easy to make. And I decided to let it try to crash and burn. And that's when we would have came up out of the ash and took home all the money. It didn't work, but hey, I love the process. That's how it goes. Sometimes the chalk is going to beat you when you're trying to get an edge against the field. So we take that. It wasn't a loss, though. We still had a pretty profitable week. Put that behind us. Ready to move on here to week 12. But we want to just say welcome again. And thank you all for the support that we are receiving. So please take the time to subscribe to our channel and also like the video. Follow us on social media. Do value and appreciate your support and your generosity for taking the time to give us a look here as we are establishing this channel. It's going to be an amazing journey. Just continue to follow us, continue to grow with us, continue to build, and we're going to bring about winners here. We're about building winners. All right. So heading into week 12, there's some thoughts that I do have about this slate, and it centers around teams that are making either some changes and or teams that are in that win now mode. Yes, they have to press the accelerator full throttle here. I'm talking about some of these teams who are in danger of missing out on the playoffs if things don't turn around instantly or continue to progress. So we'll go ahead and speak on those teams as we get to them when we build our lineups. The first thing we want to jump into right now is what you're talking about, Willis. Yes, another segment of Forget What You Thought, because this is what you need to know. I'm going to just get right to it because I'm hearing just a lot of talk, right? A lot of talk, a lot of negativity associated with a certain guy who I'm pretty familiar with as far as his game, his situation, the way he's been reared, in that I followed this guy's maturation since he was a kid because it's been kind of documented. And all things considered, Shedeur Sanders will finally get his opportunity, we think, this week, week 12. And it's not just an opportunity. It's an opportunity that he will be prepared for, properly prepared for. I mean, imagine yourself being put into a high pressure job, without the proper training, right? Say you are a cop, a police officer, and your very first day, you go to work as a police officer. They don't assign you a partner. They don't they don't provide you much training except a few handouts, a few brochures, a few training manuals. And then they tell you, go ahead and get squad car number 11. Go ahead patrol this area, take this route, walk the beat at certain hours of a pretty dangerous neighborhood, you're on your own, fella. Good luck. Officer, good luck. Man, you will probably go into that environment and probably shoot up 10, 12 people. The first sign of stress, a stressful situation you get, you just going to start firing your weapon. You're going to do something crazy. You're just going to start abusing your power, beating people upside the head or something. Right? Or you're just going to get trampled over on the streets and you probably get killed. Right? Because you haven't been prepared for this dangerous or highly stressful situation, right? Or you're a doctor. Okay, you're a surgeon. But yet you're a surgeon who's never practiced on the cadavers, right? Who's never opened up a body and had to remove an organ or anything, right? Or not necessarily even remove an organ, but maybe operate on an organ or something, right? But you're going in there, Dr. Wizard of Oz. Go in there and remove this patient's kidney, right? You've never worked on a cadaver. You've never operated on anybody in your life, but you're going to go remove this live person's kidney, right? How would you perform that task? Probably not very well, right? Exactly. Be all kind of malpractice suits. Yes, the Cleveland Browns are guilty of malpractice. Yes, you heard that right. So let's do this one more time. Forget what you thought. This is what you need to know. Shedeur Sanders is going to light it up this week because they're finally giving him some practice reps with the team that he's going to be playing with the offensive line that's going to understand his cadence, with the offensive line that's going to help him make the proper calls on the protections. He's going to have his timing down with his receivers. He's going to be prepared for the assignment. You got it? Now you can sit here and say, oh, I've seen guys come in here and there and do this or that before without being prepared. Bull to that. Stop it. Yeah, this guy has had zero first team reps since training camp. He's never had first team reps. Stop it. Yeah, he's never even had a first team rep. So that was throughout training camp, throughout OTAs, all this. He's been playing with the practice squad, the scout team, things like that. So what you talking about, Willis? All this nonsense. This is a very talented quarterback, and he has a great matchup ahead of him. And if you think Dylan Gabriel is better than this guy, you're just out of your mind. No matter what you think of Shedeur Sanders, but you will find out this week what he's made of, a little bit more of what he's made of. Not to say he's going to come in and light the world on fire. He may not. But he's much better than Dylan Gabriel. I mean, good Lord. This guy's like one of the worst quarterbacks in the history of NFL that I've seen. I mean, he's not prepared to play the position of NFL quarterback. He just isn't. So that's my little rant. And you will see that I will put my 2 cents to work here of what I'm saying. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck to be talking on the side of my neck. So what you talking about, Willis? Let's go with against this narrative of bashing Shedeur Sanders, because we believe with proper preparation, he will be just fine. All right. There we go. On to our week 12. Well, first off, let's go ahead and do a little review. We are going to review week 11, the lineup that we built here on our video last week. Yes, this is the lineup we built last week on our week 11 DFS strategy video. We built this lineup right here, right? So we started off with a Josh Allen double stack. And that was Josh Allen plus James Cook, the unconventional part of it. And then we brought in Joshua Palmer. Yeah, the stack fully didn't work, but Josh Allen certainly did kill this slate, right? Killed it. Okay, and then, we were high on Bijan Robinson. He was one of our poster boys of the week. And so we rolled a ton of him in a lot of lineups. And so we had Bijan Robinson paired with James Cook to form our backfield. And then we also had T. Higgins as one of our top plays. He didn't deliver a smash score, but, it's okay. And then we had Sterling Shepard as part of our run back to that game. He had a decent score for his price. Didn't harm us. But then we had the 2 late game double tight end hammers that both came through for us. And this was a lineup that was actually in as high as 4th place in several contests. Midway through or late into the 3rd quarter of the late slate of games. And that's when, those magical things started to happen in that Cardinals game. They just arose from the dead. They were getting hammered all game long. But they kept throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing. So those Jacoby Brissett double stacks, triple stacks came through in the end. All right, we'll take it. I'm a little bitter, but that's okay. We have to take it. Got to take your medicine. No matter how bad it tastes, you got to take it. That bitter pill. But we're going to come back this week with a similar strategy. We're not going to be riding chalk. Riding these chalk lines so hard is not going to be very beneficial. And that the contrarian approach will be the ones to scoop. All it takes is one time. 1 or 2 times you scoop. Hey, man, you made it for that whole season. All it takes is that one time, maybe that 2 times, add them together, and you're feeling great, right? But the process is valid. We're going to go ahead and stick to it. We're going to go ahead and trust in it because we've done it before. And we see the path. We see it clearly. We see how to get there. All right, but yeah, this lineup finished in a decent spot. We finished 297th out of 13,000, and 193 was the score. So, and jumping to a 3 max. One of our 3 maxes that we have lined up. We'll jump into the Engage 8, the 40K Engage 8. So we're going to go ahead and build a lineup for a 3 max Engage 8. And as I said, I'm not just talking. I'm going to back it up with what I said. We're going right to it. Let's go ahead and build that stack right out the gate. Yes, the Shedeur Sanders stack. We're rolling with it. Now, this is all contingent, of course, of Dylan Gabriel not being cleared because Stefanski, who hates Shedeur Sanders, we know this, has already stated that Gabriel will be his starting quarterback if he's cleared. So let's check that latest news. Today is Thursday, the 20th. Let's see what happened. He's not practicing today, so it's a good sign that maybe he won't be available. All right, because we definitely are not playing him. Yeah, they're at the same price. So, but we will play Shedeur. Much better arm talent, needle into those tight windows. Shedeur is compared to his counterpart. And I think his team will rally around him. I really do. So we're going to go ahead and build with this. Oh, we're definitely throwing in the tight end. Nope, not Njoku. We're throwing in Fannin, regardless of the status of Njoku. And we like Tillman as the receiver this week over Judy. Now, there could be some times or some lineups where I might do Sanders +3 even for Cleveland. And I know this is a low total and everything, but the price of Sanders is so cheap. And I do believe in changes sometimes sparking teams to achieve or play at a higher levels. And I think this could be one of those moves that sparks this team to spit into Stefanski's face and say, you should have been doing this since day one. Yeah, we're behind this guy. Yeah, number 12. We're behind him. His teammates are going to be making plays. I mean, it comes at I'm going to be kind of thinking this in like a bittersweet moment because I'm a Raiders fan. And so this would be coming against my team if it happens as I'm outlining it here, if it happens to turn out this way. So I'm not going to be loving that he's killing my team if he happens to. But, hey, you know, I'm in this for one thing and one thing only, to gain some profit. So let's go ahead and just do it. And so we're going with the Shador stack. And we will run it back with someone. Who will that someone be? All right, we got a few choices here. Let's see who we want to run back with. The pricing, 6,300 Genty, 6K Bowers. And we got Tucker, 5,100. I think I like Lockett, actually. As far as a cheap piece who maybe might get a lot of catches or something this week, right? Who knows? So we'll go ahead and run it back with Lockett in this particular lineup. Also, Lockett being such a cheap piece gives us quite a bit of spinned up capital here for our remaining positions. All right. So looking at our remaining positions, we can spend up on 2 running backs if we like. There's one guy in particular who I'm going to put in this one right out the gate. And that will be this guy right here, Big Dog, against the Jets. Because I don't think Lamar will have much to do in this game. I don't think the Jets offer much resistance. In fact, do we want to pair the defense with Big Dog? The defense is coming in at 3,900. Seahawks defense I love as well. I'm going to go with the Seahawks defense. I want to spend up on defense since we have this extra money here based on our cheap stack and run back. So we'll go ahead and spend up on the defense and at running back. And the spend up at running back. I know a lot of people are doubting the Atlanta Falcons right now. But we're going to go with Gibbs. Yeah, let's go with Gibbs. And we're going to give us another expensive running back. Now the question is, do we want to go JT, Bijan, Saquon? One of those 3. I'm going to go ahead and take Bijan. And now we have 6,600 for a wide receiver. Shoot, I would like to get Pickens at 69. Okay. Can I get him if I just downgrade the defense? Or let me just see who is available, though, at the 69 price. At the 66 price. Yeah, I'd rather get the Pickens on this one. So we're just going to downgrade the defense here on this roster. Or do we downgrade Bijan? Let's see. What are my other options for the running back? Was Saquon Pickens correlation? Yeah, let's do that. Saquon Pickens correlation. It's going to leave quite a bit on the table. Sometimes you can't be worried about leaving stuff on the table, right? You go with what you believe in. You know, you go with what you believe in sometimes. And I do believe in this lineup. So we're going to stick with it. All right, we're going to leave 700 on the table. We're going to leave 700 on the table and go ahead and lock this one in. We went with Shador Sanders, double stack. Cedric Tillman, Harold Fannin Jr., running back with Tyler Lockett in a late game with a low total. Stack should be underowned. Who knows? They might hype it up at the last minute. Some people might come on board to my side here with the Shador Sanders hype. And the negativity may be dispelled. Who knows? Maybe not. Don't count on it. But I'm rolling with it. And if you follow me here, you should roll with it too. I'm convicted. And it's win, lose, or draw. Whether it comes out on top or not, it ain't going to concern me. One thing is the process. And the process is correct. The masses will not be on it. And if it hits And it's a low threshold at 4,200 for him to get 16, 18 points. That's crushing it already. We'll take it. All right. Then we got Big Dog, Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. And a third back we added, Saquon Barkley, correlated with George Pickens, another late game. And then we have the most expensive defense that we can get, the Seattle Seahawks, in a prime, very juicy matchup against the woeful Tennessee Titans offense. Don't be surprised if you get a touchdown here out of this and 6 sacks out of the Seahawks this week. All right. So let's go ahead and lock that one in. Okay, let's jump in a Battle Royale. 2 people to go. All right. Yeah, we have 3 running backs at the top of our rankings this week. Jahmyr Gibbs, JT, Bijan. Don't think I want to break that seal at the top. If I'm in the top 3, I'm taking a running back pretty much 100% of the time. And we do have the number 1 pick. So we definitely will be taking one of these running backs. I think I'm going to go with Gibbs on this one. But can't go wrong if you take JT. He's coming off of a bye. Be well rested. It's just that the Chiefs have been pretty sound against the run this year. And they are in such a desperate situation. I think they're going to force. My belief is they will attempt to force Danny Dimes into trying to beat them. Right? Because they don't want JT to just rack up a bunch of yards. And so I think they're going to, play it, stack the box on this guy. Okay, we're going to take Gibbs. I mean, I will mix it up and take some JT as well, but this one, we're just going to take Gibbs. We also can go with a full-fledged Detroit onslaught. They may be willing to run it up this week, right? Where's Waymo? Waymo. 22. Shoot, we might take him at 13. Just go for the full Detroit stack. Take J-Mo at 13. It's not out of the question. Right? Because he may not get to us all the way to 20. Where are we at? 24? Yeah, he may not get to 24. This ADP being 22. Yeah, don't discount it at this point. All right, so we see that McBride, first round, right? Yeah. Travion. Still don't fully trust Mike Vrabel's decision-making with what he's going to do with that backfield moving forward. It's quite possible once Ramondre Stevenson is back, fully healthy, it may just go back to being a split for all we know, right? Yeah, we know Travion's looked good so far, but Vrabel seems like one of those dudes that will reward his veterans. Even though he was hurt, he's not just going to just say, oh, you lose your job because of injury. He's still going to utilize Ramondre. Plus, he likes to run up the middle a lot, and I'm still not sold that Travion is great up the middle. He's done some things lately to show that he is trying to be more physical up the middle, but he's still not a power runner. Doesn't move the piles, things like that. But we'll see. I'm just not going to trust it fully. That's all. Do we want Mahomes, T. Higgins, Bowers? Definitely going to take Bowers with one of these picks. Okay, we go Bowers first. And now let's see what we want to do with the second pick. J-Mo, Higgins, Pickens, think I want to go Pickens. I want a little exposure to that Dallas Eagles game. So we'll take Pickens. Where did CD go? Right before me. All right. Hurts. We got Dax in play. Waymo Golf. If Waymo gets to us. Yeah, I didn't think JMO would make it to me. So we're going to go with Dak. Dakalus. Or do we go naked dart? Heck, we might just test it, right? How many people have a quarterback already? Quite a few. And we're not taking one. We're going to push it. We want Judkins. Sure, why not? We'll take Judkins. Or Kenneth Walker. Hey, man. Let's go Kenneth Walker. Let's see if McDonald and Kubiak are going to follow through on their coach speak of this guy, Kenneth Walker, K9, getting some more touches, earning some more touches, in their words. Receiver. Oh, AJ Brown. That's simple. Or Devontae. We're going to go with AJ. AJ Brown. All right. And now we're just left with the quarterback. I go naked dart, man. Naked dart. Or golf, one of the two, right? All right, we're going to go naked dart. Because if he's ruled out, we'll just get golf anyway. Right? Set our rankings correctly. We'll just get golf anyway. Okay, there you have it. Okay, we start off with the number one pick. We took Jahmyr Gibbs for the Detroit Lions. Then we came back on the 2-3 turn and took Brock Bowers and George Pickens. And in the 4-5 turn, we turned around and got Kenneth Walker, K9. A little bit of coach speak saying that he's earned the right for more touches. We'll go ahead and do it. McDonald and Kubiak, give him some more touches. All right. And then we paired that up. We paired our Dallas-Philadelphia game, Pickens, and now we added A.J. Brown. All right. Then we rounded it out with our quarterback, Jackson Dart. Hopefully he's going to return this week. If not, we'll just add golf in the replacement. All right. There you have it. First one down. We got time for one more. All right. Yes. Thanks, you won again. Yes. Thanks once again for joining us for our NFL Week 12 DFS strategy and lineup builds, where we go ahead and build lineups on DraftKings and draft teams on Underdog each and every week of the NFL season. Go ahead and take the time to kindly subscribe to our channel. Also, like the video. Go ahead and follow us on social media. Appreciate your support throughout this campaign. It will be an amazing journey. We're now bringing you also NBA DFS basketball with our Triple Threat Showcase. Go ahead and check out those videos as well on our channel. Another offering in the DFS space, in this basketball space. And we have the proud announcement that about 2 weeks ago, we took down first place in a single entry, in 2 single entry contests. And so we do know what we're talking about in that sport as well. And we just stick to our processes. We attack the contests that we know are winnable. And that's our approach here also. These contests with our strategies that we implement, these are winnable contests. So thank you once again for your support. Again, take the time. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Feel free to leave a comment. But thank you once again. All right. So let's jump into another draft. We can do a squib kick draft. That will be a 12-player draft here on Underdog. So let's see if we can do that. 10 of 12 field. Doesn't feel very shortly. Then we'll go ahead and skip that and jump back on over to DraftKings. We typically don't do the 150 max entry type contest, but this one has been pretty good to us. We put like 5 entries each week, 4 or 5 entries every week into this one, and it's a 2x minimum payout. So we're approaching this with the same mentality, right? Because how many people? It's 13,000 entries. And we're going to approach this with the same mentality that we're doing our 3 maxes. That's how we do it. And this is a contest where we were pretty much in 4th place late into the late games last week until things just, brought us down. But again, we know we can win these types of contests, right? And we're going to prove it right here very soon. So what we want to do here, we want to start off with maybe that late game. Let's see, the Philadelphia-Dallas game. A lot of people are expecting maybe this might play a little tighter than normally. Dallas has added some things to their team, right, as far as defensive acquisitions. And Philly, their defense is playing great right now. So we're going to skip that game. We're going to go to an early game where we're going with a desperation angle, which we talked about. Some teams are feeling the pressure. The Kansas City Chiefs of being a playoff team. So we're going to go ahead and go with that angle, and we're going to build a Chiefs stat. So we're going to start off with Mahomes, obviously, and we're going to go to one of our poster boys who we really like this week. That'd be Travis Kelce. And one of the receivers that we want to play, we kind of want to play Worthy, but we also are looking out on whether or not Tyquan Thornton is going to be available for this game. Did he get much run last game? Got 2 targets. He got 61 yards on one of them. I think this is a guy that usually, or that has been consistent in catching the deep ball from Mahomes. So we're going to make a little tricky play here, and we're going to go with Tyquan on this one. Yeah, we're going to believe that he's going to be activated and bumped up the rotation. I mean, it's a very low-risk play. If it doesn't work, it's 3,200. But if he gets that one or two boom plays for us, it'll pay off handsomely. All right, and we're going to actually run this back with the most expensive guy on the planet. Yeah, that'd be JT. Okay, and then we're going to complement that with one of our cheaper running back options for the week. That would be, let's keep scrolling down, Bashal Tutin. We are very interested in. Let's see, did he practice? He's limited. But we're going to go ahead and put him in 4,600. If he's happened to get ruled out, then we have to make a switch at a later time. We'll deal with that when it comes up. Wide receiver, Mooney. They had a connection last year, he and Kirk Cousins. And with Drake London out, let's go ahead and put Mooney in there. He's in an indoor game, won't be impacted by any weather concerns. All right, our defense. We want to keep spinning up for defenses this week. I'm okay with that because a lot of them are in really good spots, spin ups. For this particular one, I think we are going to go with the Ravens this time. Okay. Wide receiver, I don't really want to spend too much on wide receivers this week. I just don't. I'm going to go with Devontae Smith against that Cowboys defense. Okay, 6,100 left for our flex. And we have a guy like Adunze available. We have a guy like Judkins in the late window. We have Pittman or Bowers. Hey, let's go with Bowers. Why not? All right, the double tight again. Worked for us so great last week. We're going to go back to the well again on another double tight. So, our last build on DraftKings, we have Patrick Mahomes double stack with Travis Kelce, and we're going to play a sneaky play in Tyquan Thornton. Now, we ran it back with the most expensive guy on the planet. We're going with JT. Yes. I don't know how contrarian that will be because he's so expensive, but people tend to just keep playing this guy no matter what his price is. So we're not going to really worry about the ownership. We're just worried about the correlation and that we hope we got it right. All right. Then we rounded out our backfield out with Bashal Tutin, who's questionable right now, but we'll go ahead and monitor that, and hopefully he'll still be able to play. By Friday, we'll know a little bit more, I'm sure, about his status. So we'll go ahead and put him in right now. Then we got Darnell Mooney. Without Drake London, he can be a favored target of Kirk Cousins. We're hoping that it comes through for us. And then we add Devonta Smith in that late window game to give us some late minutes and a very potentially explosive game environment. Then we add Brock Bowers for our double tight end formation once again. And he's also in a late window game. And we rounded it out with the Ravens defense. All right. So there you have it. Our two builds, two different kinds of builds, right? We got a more expensive stack, and then we got the super cheap stack. That's two different ways, but we're all trying to get to the same spot up at the top. All right. Let's see what we got going. Back on Underdog. One more to go. We'll give it a minute or two, see if it fills up. If not, we'll close out right here. I think it's going to be interesting this week to see where the chalk lines come in, because the pricing, as I stated, is very, very tight. You know, there's not going to be a lot of bargain plays that you're going to feel comfortable with at this point until, you know, the news starts to really finalize on who's going to be in and who's out. But there could be a very few value plays, and the few that may come about may become so chalky because there aren't that many. So that's one thing that I will be monitoring are the injury news updates and to see if any cheaper plays become available and how chalky they will become. But right now, just not really going to worry about it. Just going to continue to play the plays we believe in. And I know I'm going to have a lot of golf stacks. I'm going to have a lot of Shador stacks. And I'm going to have several, not a lot, but several Mahomes stacks. These are the three spots that I, based on the game environments that they will be associated with, or the price tags that they're associated with, or the urgency that these teams will exhibit. So, all right, we're just going to end it right here. Thank you for joining us once again for our NFL Week 12 DFS strategy and lineup builds here at GAB Sports. We appreciate it. Please, on your way out, take the time to like the video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media. Feel free to leave a comment. And once again, good luck to you all. And I hope to see you all sharing the top of the standings along with myself, your boy, Young Moolah, here at GAB Sports. Peace.